Now the second game of the Hell Let Loose Summer Invitational 2021. This is an 18v18 tournament. We are casting live for the first time on the new home for 18v18 gameplay in Hell Let Loose, which is this Twitch channel. And I am really excited to bring this game to you today between the 16th seed BR1 versus the 17th seed BWCC. My name is Avanis. I am your caster today. I'm also the tournament host, and I am joined in the booth by my good friend C-Dub.
Hello, hello, hello.
C-Dub and I will be bringing you the action live in admin cam for the first time in this tournament, and we are really excited to get started in just a few minutes. In-game start time is 1:15. So just a couple of minutes. So C-Dub, we're on Flak Pits. Taking a look at the map. What are we looking for here?
So, as we know, Hill 400, there is a lot of trees, and Flak Pits is just like the rest of the map. There's a lot of foliage, there's a lot of micro terrain with rocks, trenches, so many just different objects. So it's going to be really important that both sides are playing a bit slow. There's so many areas to get shot from. You really need to work together with your squad, covering each other and just keeping your eyes peeled, because it's hard to see people in the forest of Hurtgen. I believe it's still the Hurtgen forest, but
yeah. It's still in the Hurtgen forest, yes, but different name. So yeah, I completely agree with that assessment. The actual spotting of players on this is one of the most difficult in the game, and so that offers two things to both teams. It means that moving around can be done very quickly in an area where there is no one looking at you. But if there is someone looking at you, good luck. It is pretty easy to dial in on someone and dial in on positions once they're identified. But the trees do offer a lot of great flanking opportunities, a lot of ways to get around this strong point. In our game earlier today, we had a phenomenal flank by one of the squad leaders on HLY. So I'm going to be looking for those wide flanks. Obviously, the big hill south of Flak Pits in F4 is the real prize outside of the strong point, and should be really fascinating to see both teams fight over it. So
yeah, it's something with the ease of flanks or like more movement where you can be sneaky. It's easier to come back compared to other maps where there's a lot more open and there's only a couple lanes. So Hill 400 is kind of that great equalizer map with how much micro terrain there is. And it looks like we're starting.
We are getting started. And you know what I should do really quickly before we get too into this? I should turn up my view distance all the way.
Oh yeah. So
there we go.
Yeah, it seems like BWCC here is pushing into Flak Pit straight into the cap circle with one squad going to the top of the hill there, just inbounds.
Yes, and I should say that you have BR1 playing as the Allies and BWCC playing as the Axis today. So yeah, so we're seeing a really strong push right towards the strong point from the BR1 team, trying to get control of this hill. We're seeing BWCC starting to climb the hill from the other side. So they're starting to move in. Looks like BWCC is going to try to overload the strong point, whereas BR1's kind of going for that more wide approach.
Yeah, I think this makes a lot of sense, what BWCC here is doing. One squad to secure the high ground, protect the flank, and then two to get the cap circle, since it provides 3 times the capping strength.
So fighting over this trench line is going to be really key. It leads from one side of the zone to the other. We're seeing some fighting pop off on the top of the hill. A lot of grenades going. MG from BWCC starting to suppress this trench line. Looks like BR1's really going to focus the hill. It looks like that might be the top priority here from the start of the match.
So one thing to note is BR1 does have one squad flanking around, and if they get behind and knock out some OPs, BWCC won't be able to hold actually this part of the map and will be wiped.
Seeing some BWCC folks here in some deep cover. Not really deep. Kind of glitching on the rock, but that's this game. But definitely looking at the top of the hill. We are seeing a decent flank from BR1 on the north side of the point, as you said. And looks like Satchel Sloth, great name, getting in behind here, unspotted. And he's maybe looking for this MG. Oh, okay, we have a nice little engagement over here.
Down. So the cap race is fairly even, with BWCC slowly taking the cap because they do have the strong point control. But BR1's pushing in that north side, and it's pretty effective right now, which is allowing them to maybe stall the cap.
Yeah, and you got Satchel Sloth here from BR1 really doing some damage in the backside of this cap. He's gotten at least 4 or 5 kills since I've been watching him. And there's an OP right next to him.
They're going to get the... Oh, cap just flipped.
Yeah, that was about as close as you can possibly get to capturing the zone without doing it.
That flank from BR1 paid off. They're doing some massive damage here in the north, pushing BWCC back.
And I've just been focusing on Satchel Sloth. This guy has just been putting some work in right here next to this outpost. Really kind of muck things up in the back line. He didn't find the MG. He can hear it, but he can't see it. I'm going to pivot now. Go back to the hill.
Charlie's OP is down from, excuse me, Baker's OP is down from BWCC, so this is giving BR1 a chance to push in and kind of take control of the north, and that extra angle, just gaining that map control, is locking BWCC into one square on the map, just kind of multiplying the firepower of BR1 right now.
Going for a top-down view here so you can see just how close these guys are.
Although it does look like BWCC is kind of winning control of the hill there in the south.
Yeah, we're seeing some really interesting back and forth here. That is, I can't believe that BR1 actually managed to flip capture progress of the zone. Like, it looked really good there. Oh, look at...
No time.
We have 2 players from BR1 and BWCC literally sitting on alternate rocks here, right north of the Flak Pits. And they're shooting in opposite directions, and they don't see each other.
That just goes to
That is amazing.
The micro terrain on this map.
How do they not see? How do they not see each other? Look at how close they are. Look at this.
Do you have here an MG right next to you?
This is amazing.
So BR1's kind of regrouping for another push here in the south hill, but BWC is holding it. It is so hard to push on a map like this with micro cover. Also just going uphill.
Honestly, some pretty even fighting going on at the start of the match. This is great. Both teams really kind of getting some advantages. BR1 managed to prevent the capture of Flak Pits, which is really good. Means their OPs are still in position. And you're right that you're seeing a squad from BR1 really start to make progress on the northeast side of Flak Pits. So BWCC a little bit like hold in here.
Exactly. And as time goes on, BR1's really exploiting their control of the map. It's amplifying their firepower. And because BWC is boxed in, BR1 is just able to get so many angles on them that they can't really move out without getting shot. So BR1 can just kind of play the waiting game here and just slowly move in as they pick off BWCC. So it's going to be up to BWCC to really, I think, consolidate in the south and push BR1 off and at least split the point in the sector in half.
Absolutely. And I have to go back. Broken English from BWCC and Richardson from BR1 are right on top of each other. They are literally almost in, like, stab you with a knife distance. And they still don't see each other. They have been sitting here this whole time. Now, Stewart from BR1's coming up. Let's see if he sees him. I have never seen anything like this. This is wild. They're like shooting in the same direction.
They must think they're like.
They must think, yeah. They must be hearing each other shoot, and they're like, oh yeah, that's my friend. Okay, Richardson finally goes down, and Vince, PWCC Vince is probably going to Broken like, dude, you had a guy right next to you. Like, that's amazing. So looking at the strong point. Go ahead.
It does look like BWCC's kind of recognized BR1's strength in the north there, and they are starting to send guys up there to push, and they are starting to take the cap.
I'm pivoting
BR1's
south here.
starting to commit more in the south here too on that hill.
Yeah, they're actually getting they're getting some ground here on the south side, so that is looking pretty good for them. I'm seeing a bit of a pincer from both sides onto Flak Pits. Capture zone still hasn't happened. BWCC still has enough people on the zone, so they are getting progress. So BR1's going to have to do something about that, or they're going to have to reset OPs. But really close game thus far. I mean, we're almost 10 minutes in, and no one has captured the zone yet. That's amazing.
It'll be really key here if BR1 can get enough guys into the cap circle, or at least kill enough of BWCC's guys in the cap circle to stall it. Doesn't look like they're gonna make it.
It looks like BWCC is gonna grab the zone here. BR1 really focused on this hill. Like, you know, their thought process is we take the hill, we get, you know, downward mobility to the point. We're seeing a flank here from 2 players from BR1 on this big group. South side, grenades going out.
That could be huge.
That could be really big. Captain's going around. He's looking for the outpost, and no one sees him. He grabs Sherlock. He's looking for more. BR1 starting to get full control of the South Hill here.
They also have control of north, so even though that BWCC has the cap circle right now, BR1 kind of has superior map control, and if they can continue that up, they would be able to cap it before time runs out.
So BWCC outpost is sitting in this circular trench over here with the spotlight, and Captain, I think, sees him. He's looking. They're looking to get it. BR1 starting to really hone in on this outpost. It's right on the line of the zone.
That is 7 BR1 guys versus 3 BWCC at the top of the hill, and the sector is flashing. And BR1 starting to cap it, despite BR1 not having anybody in the cap circle.
Doing a really nice job of controlling this map. This is really nice recovery from BR1 here. BWCC has just an MG and an assault class sitting next to the strong point, and that's it. This MG has been doing work. He's been sitting up here the whole game. Man, we're really getting a good fight emerging here. They kill each other. Captain Spine and Stefan kill each other on the south side of the hill, so that's a wash. BR1 looking for it.
BWCC is starting to push that northeast, but BR1 just kind of keeps falling back a little bit and to keep them boxed in so BWCC can't flank around.
This is a really nice fight developing here on the south side. Very tactical, trying to use the trees for any kind of cover, some peek. Disease running out for BR1, a squad lead. He's going for the outpost. He's right next to it. A guy spawns. He gets him. He gets the OP. BR1 eliminates that OP south side. He goes down, but
the squad
damage is done.
Alive.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, he is still up.
Yep, he replaces the OP, but still, that's a whole spawn wave delayed that BR1 can take advantage of if they can keep guys coming in.
Really nice fight on the South Hill here. And we are starting to see capture progress from BR1 again on the actual Flak Pits itself. Sherlock kind of waiting for his squad to regroup, and then I think he's going to crest the hill again and go back over. So we'll come back to that in a little bit. We're looking at Big Al's squad moving down on the hill towards the strong point. Oh, grenade.
Looks like he's going for and gets knocked out in the northeast. Yeah, BR1 is just doing such a fantastic job of keeping BWCC boxed in the north here. So that south fight is just really key, because once BR1 takes control of that, like fully takes control of the hill, BWCC very well could get pushed back to the map's bound, like the edge.
I will say, you know, the experience from last year was that Flak Pits was one of those strong points where there was just a lot of areas to contest. There, you have the South Hill, you have the strong point itself, and then you have this entire kind of northern open area that's on a downhill slope. And there's like these 3 different areas to fight. And I will say it's really interesting that there's no one actually inside of the circle for either team right now. Murdoch's sitting just on the outside of it. But it's really interesting to see that pretty much all the fighting is going on around the capture point itself.
Yep, I think BR1 is really doing a good job of just focusing on controlling the map and realizing the cap circle will come. BWCC, I think, did a great job at the beginning of the match to take control of the south, but they didn't have anybody in the north, which kind of forced them to box in, and now they got to fight out. If I'm BWCC right now, I got to be thinking to get a couple guys into that cap circle to delay the cap progress, which will then allow my team time to refocus on gaining map control.
Yes.
Because you don't want to lose the cap.
And I will say, we really have a great fight developing on this South Hill. BWCC has reestablished OP, and now we're having just a full-blown fight top of the hill, 3 versus 5 or so? 3 versus 4, I think. This is a great fight top of the hill, and it's kind of so far away from the strong point itself. We're seeing capture progress go back and forth now. BR1 had it for a minute, but now BWCC starting to get into the circle, although BR1's getting some good kills. I mean, this is really back and forth. Really hard to say who is in a more commanding position right now. I think BR1's got the better map control, but BWCC certainly hanging on and doing a good job.
I think BR1's making a play for the cap circle now. They have a couple guys just north of the cap circle, they have a couple guys south of the cap circle, and they have a couple going into the strong point to actually get the 3 times cap strength. And they very well could take the cap sector right now.
This is really shaping up to be quite the match. BR1 now.
BR1 pushing in for the OP in the south.
They're getting really close. I'm pivoting back over there now.
Spawn wave came in from BWCC, and they immediately, one of them gets shot off the spawn wave, so
and there's
BR1
just
has to know where the OP is.
There's just smoke everywhere over here on the South Hill now, right at the crest. Although BR1's starting to get an advantage, they drop Cleo. I think BR1 probably going to get control of the South Hill here. We got another spawn wave from BWCC. They're all just kind of sitting in the smoke. Rocky drops tow missile. They're all together. One grenade kills all of BR1 here. One good grenade into that trench.
I mean, he's got that AT rocket, right? No.
Oh, he goes down. I'm really curious. I mean, is BWCC throwing grenades and I'm just not seeing them explode? And BR1 gets capture of Flak Pits.
So Charlie Squad from BWCC sets up his OP right away, but Abel and Baker, squad lead in BWCC, haven't placed an OP yet.
So that'll be something to watch.
Set up on the cap to get that up, which is really big because you need to get those OPs down to start your timers going so you can get reinforcements. But Abel squad leader dies from BWCC. They only have 1 OP up, and that's Charlie's right now, an F4 like numpad 3. And Baker just gets his up now. So BR1 is going to actually have about 30 seconds to be able to really press their advantage right now, and very well could box out BWCC.
Yeah, this is going to be really important the next minute for BWCC to reestablish themselves somewhere in the zone. If they don't, they're going to need to think about going all in on a push. Oh, Satchel gets behind the MG from BWCC there, takes him out.
That's kind of something we noticed last year's tournament is, as a squad leader, you have to be very aware if you're going to lose the sector to immediately get in position to get your OPs down so you can start getting more bodies in.
This is really shaping up to be a good match. BR1 now in a pretty commanding position with about 15 minutes to play, just under 15. So still time for BWCC to reestablish themselves in the zone. But BR1 now has the big height advantage on this southern hill. Very, very tough now for BWCC to climb this hill. I think they're going to need to start looking central or north side of the strong point.
Yeah, so BWCC is just, they're pushing in more of a ball down the main road here in the middle of the sector towards Flak Pits, but BR1 controls south side of the hill or the north side, so it's basically just a funnel they're running into. They, like you said, they need to pick north or south, and take one of like the important positions around the sector, or they're gonna get boxed out.
Really nice gunfights going on here on the main road. Leading in towards the strong point. BR1 doing a very nice job of utilizing this height advantage. And a pretty good spread from BR1 as well on the map if I zoom out a little bit here.
BR1 is doing a really nice job of controlling important positions around the map. They have guys playing patient, holding angles so that if anybody from BWCC crosses to try and flanks, they're going to get mowed down immediately. So it's really well played by BR1.
I will say, oh, go ahead.
If you're BWCC, what is your game plan right now?
Game plan is, if I try this maybe for another minute or two, see if there's an opening. If you don't get anywhere, right around the time you get to 10 minutes, you got to change strategy. There is a huge opening on the north side of this map right now. It is downhill. It is not visible for BR1 to physically see from their current positions. I would probably keep one squad keeping the push center and then send everyone else around on a flank, because right now BWCC could pretty easily pull off a flank right through the middle or top side of F3 and E3. So that's what to watch right now. We'll see if they pick up on that.
Yeah, BWCC isn't committing a squad leader to that, you know, very northbound position in the sector. Like you were talking about, it's downhill there. It would be very easy. Squad leader spawns in that Gary at G3 for BWCC, and all he has to do is get behind, get an OP down somewhere in E3, and you've completely opened the matchup again.
I have to interrupt you for a minute. There was just this amazing MG battle going on right here in the middle of F3, where two MGs were literally just like suppressing each other, not being able to see where they were getting shot from, and they were like 20 meters apart. Sorry, keep going. That was great.
That's the thing about this map, right? With the amount of micro cover.
That was amazing.
So there is Hydro from BWCC. He's running along the very north edge of the sector, although sadly he's not a squad leader, he's just an AT.
But maybe he'll report back to his squad and say, hey guys, you know, we got an opening here. And that's the communication aspect.
Yeah, because BWCC keeps trying to push down this road. They're doing a nice job of throwing a lot of smoke there to obstruct BR1's view, but it's still just so tough trying to move in this map and see enemies that are static, not moving. Just the nature of how much micro cover there is on the map.
And we are starting to see a squad leader from BWCC has found an opening in the middle
Sector
of...
flashed.
Yeah, BWCC Big Al has found a way through the BR1 line. He has slipped through. He is moving. He is a squad leader, and he is getting close to easy outpost on the BR1 side. And I'll be curious to know if he spots it. He is close. He gets it. BWCC takes down a BR1 outpost all the way in the backfield. And that is a big... that is massive for BWCC. They now have two players doing a big flank all the way around the outside of the map. There is not a single player from BR1 anywhere near them, and you are now starting to see capture progress from BWCC. It looks like the line for BR1 falling apart.
Yeah, I'm really, I'd love to be able to hear what BR1's comms are right now. What are they, how are they reacting and whatnot. And BWCC, they're capping the sector.
Yeah, and that was a big play up the middle from Big Al to sneak through. He's going to be able to get an outpost down for his squad. And we're going to see now a new angle of approach for the BWCC team from the north side. And BR1 now is kind of in trouble. I mean, they've really kind of lost their defensive line. BWCC pushing right up the middle into the strong point. You have still BR1 squads on the south side looking downhill. But remember, easy outpost went down. He's just now replaced it. But BWCC now has an opening to try and get into the strong point. BR1 really losing their control of the map.
Yeah, BWCC was able to control the north. They're able to secure control of the north side of the sector now. They still don't have the south, that hill, but BR1 isn't really pushing down from the hill to get angles on, so BWCC is free to sit in the cap circle, and they're likely going to take the sector back.
Yeah, I mean, BWCC, got to give him credit. Big Al finding a hole in the line. And that is all he had to do. They could not get full control. They did not have all of the angles covered. And now you have BWCC recapping. We're almost done. BR1 now all over the place on every side of the point trying to come back in. But there's enough...
is going to take out Abel's OP here from BWCC. In the north side... Oh, he walked past it.
But BWCC is going to cap, and they're going to reset the map here. BR1 OPs are going to get wiped.
BR1 does have a bit of an opening here since BWCC is mostly in the cap circle. As long as BR1 keeps control of that south hill and they can reestablish north side again, they should be just fine to recap this considering it's already flashing.
This is really interesting match. You have a squad from BR1 that has really not left the southern hill. They have been sitting there. They are now recapturing the zone because BWCC couldn't get enough guys in. They had just enough at the right time, but now BR1 reestablishing control of the zone. And it's because BWCC never dealt with this group on the south side of the map, on the hill. And now BWCC kind of back to square one all of a sudden, even though they just captured the zone. I mean, really interesting.
Yeah, I think BR1 did a nice job of, they still controlled the south side, they pushed in, they recontrolled the north side, and instead of focusing on map control, it felt like BWCC kind of all collapsed in the cap circle, which allowed BR1 to reestablish map control. It kind of multiplies their combat effectiveness, and yeah, now we have BR1 that's going to recap this. I'm curious if I think we missed it where BR1 knocked out Dima's outpost from BWCC because Baker Squad had to redeploy at the Gary after BWCC capped.
Correct, and BWCC now coming with a big push up the middle, and they killed Easy, and got rid of his outpost. So now you have a big push from BWCC right up the middle, and BR1 had to redeploy an entire squad back in E3. So BR1 is in very good position to recap, but a huge push from BWCC coming up the middle of the map. So be curious to see if BWCC gets enough to stop capture progress.
And that's part of the decisions you have to make as a squad lead is how do you manage your OP. If you place it closer, yes, you can get guys faster, but it is more dangerous. And your OP can get knocked out, and if your OP gets knocked out, you're a threat to lose the sector once you lose map control.
And now we have the point flips. BR1 reestablishes control. They've just done a really nice job on the south side of this hill. They're not letting this go. Disease Unknown has been up here with his squad the whole time. But you got to give credit to BWCC for finding those holes and capturing. I mean, that was amazing considering the positioning that BR1 has. So now the question is, with 5 minutes to go, can BWCC find another opening and do it again?
Yeah, that was a really nice job by BWCC. They find the opening, they exploit it, they make BR1 pay. They just really needed to focus more on map control than the cap circle, but they did it once, they can likely do it again, and all they need to do is control the sector at the end of the match. So
Tommy gets a big kill right on the border. He's alone here. He takes out Demo, one of the squad leads for BWCC. BWCC now with 5 minutes to figure this out. And again, you know, that north side is open, but I think BWCC probably feeling like that's not enough time, right? 5 minutes. I don't think that even if they wanted to flank north side and come down, it's close. I don't know if it's going to be the right place. So they're going to stack.
Really tight.
It's going to be close. So they're going to stack everything, and they're just going to make one final push right up the middle.
The one thing to note, BWCC is, I think one of their biggest issues this game has just been keeping OPs down. BR1's done a really nice job of finding and eliminating OPs of BWCC, but just it's so important in these games to get your OP down and make sure you're set as a squad leader as soon as you lose the sector, that you're in position to immediately get an OP down so you can continue fighting. It's just you lose so much time having to wait for OPs to come up and run back.
Yeah, every minute in this game mode really does count. Tommy grabs another squad leader. And I will say, BR1 has done an excellent job of finding the critical kills. They keep killing squad leaders for BWCC before they can really get in any kind of good position. And that has just been a really big problem for BWCC, is just getting control. And now, if I go all the way up here and I zoom out, you're seeing, look at the line of BR1, just kind of north to south on the point, really consolidating, have a great firing line into where BWC has to enter. And with time clicking down here, I think BR1 is in a very commanding position.
Yeah, I think BR1's doing a nice job of allowing, or having their infantry play static, right? As we've said, it's really hard to see enemy infantry that are standing still with so much micro cover. So it's really tough for BWCC to push in when BR1 is playing. They're able to play static. They're taking advantage of the map, and they're doing a really nice job.
And we're going to see one final big fight here on the south side of the map. It looked like Bangalore was going to get up here with his squad and maybe disrupt dog outposts for BR1, but this is pretty much going to be it right here. 2.5 minutes to go. BWCC really needs to break through, needs to wipe all these BR1 guys and kill this OP and then come down onto the strong point. If they do, they can start the cap. So here we go. Dima goes down. BR1. Oh, but it's a trade. Grenade gets the other guy. It's a bit of a player advantage currently for BR1. Still has height advantage as well. It's about 4 versus 2. Vince is trying to get a flank. Bangalore goes down.
It's just so tough to push in. It's so tough to just push on maps like Hill 400, Hurtgen, where there is all this micro cover. So it's going to be really important that BWCC keep kind of throwing smokes, throwing grenades, and just inch forward. But sadly, they don't have much time left.
BWCC gets a support player up right next to the strong point. There's a bit of a joust happening here. Ah, and they finally see each other. They're looking for each other. They can't see. So, oh, and he goes down. So a player from BR1 picks off the BWCC guy that was kind of getting in. Time really clicking down here. Just over 60 seconds to go. I don't think BWCC has enough close enough to the point to contest here.
Yeah, and I really think this is just super well played by BR1. They understood how to use the map to their advantage. They understood what kind of areas, what important positions on the map they needed to control. They focused on map control over prioritizing the cap circle. And it was really well played macro-wise from BR1.
BR1 medic just got 2 kills with his pistol right on the edge of the map. That was pretty nice. You'd like to see that. But yeah, I think the concentration of BWCC just isn't there. Under a minute to go. BR1, I think, has got a high enough line. I think BR1 is going to take match 1 of this best of 3. But a really well-played game from both teams. BWCC finding a way back into the strong point, and that's something to watch in game 2, or match 2, I should say. Can they replicate breaking out of the defensive line that BR1 had and getting back in? But a well-played game on both sides. South Hill was really contested. Both teams making good use of micro cover, as you said. But the match 1 is going to go to BR1, and that is game. So 1-0 for BR1 in this best of 3. So for those of you that are joining us in this tournament for the first time, every single game is a best of 3. We are now going to flip the sides. BR1 will now play Axis in match 2. BWCC will be allies in match 2, and we will do this all over again. If BWCC finds a way to win match 2, they will be tied 1-1, and we will go to a winner-take-all match 3. We are going to take a short break as we reset for the second match. We need to switch servers. There's a bit of things we need to do. We will be back in about 10 to 15 minutes with the second match of this wild card round game between BR1 and BWCC. My name's Abnus, joined in the booth by C-Dub. We will be back in just a few minutes. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.